Hello, everyone.
Hi.
How are we all doing?
Good.
Here, how are you?
Doing really well. How do you guys like the meeting today?
It's really good.
It was good, very informative.
I miss those meetings. They always like pump me up. So now I feel like pumped up. So I think
Don't
I've
they?
been like MIA for like a few of them.
What you've been learning though.
You've been busy. Good stuff.
This just been going in one ear and out the other. So I don't know if
Not
that's learning.
true. Mm-mm.
It's going through the motions.
Just
No,
keep
you told us
moving.
about it.
So today we're talking about credit.
And we are not credit specialists. So
Yeah, disclaimer, we're not CPAs, credit specialists, attorneys.
we are only going to talk about personal experience and personal deals that we have seen in the past. So we will have future videos that kind of outline this with actual guests on the show.
Yes. So with that being said, Kendra, do you want to start off with some tidbits you may have?
Yeah, so when I first bought my house, I actually did not have the best credit. In order to get an FHA loan with the 3.5%, like Brett had mentioned when he was on a couple weeks ago, you do need a minimum of 580 credit score. We were like, I was just under that. I think it was like 573, like it was just under. So what they recommended is I open up a secured credit card, and what that is basically your minimum balance is what you put into it. So like I put $200 and that was my credit balance. So if I ever defaulted, they could pull that money because I had already like prepaid it in essence. But it's a great way to get started. And now I'm able to qualify for much higher limits and not having to put the money down. So the unsecured card. But that was the best thing. And just opening that up, because I also didn't have very much credit at the age of 23, other than some medical bills that had gone probably to collections, But so not having much credit, opening that up like spiked me up a good 20 points and we were able to qualify. So if you don't have any credit, I highly suggest opening up one of those secured credit cards. Even if you're not planning on buying a house, if you're just looking to like get a car or something, because your interest rate's going to be much better no matter what, as long as your credit score is good.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to recommend doing a prepaid credit card for anyone who wants to build their credit or like repair it or improve it. I wasn't in the same situation. I think I was just finishing up college at that time, or maybe I was still having fun in college at that time. So I wasn't too worried about my credit until I was done. And then I don't know where my score was at, but I knew it needed some work. And that's exactly what I did. I think there's different minimums for each different card program out there, but mine was like $500. How much was yours, Kendra?
Mine was 200.
Yeah, and it's really cool, right? Because like it'll show up on your report as just like getting an unsecured card. It's not really saying this is like a secured card. It is showing up, oh, Kendra or Alex got X amount of dollars available to them, and that's all that they're reporting. Just like Kendra said, right? You have to put down that the deposit. So I had to give them $500, but I believe at the end of that year they give it back to you.
Yeah, so if you pay on time, they'll increase your limit and you'll get the deposit back.
Yeah.
Good
So there's
point.
definitely, right, there's, if you go like on like a Credit Karma or something, like I know there's a lot of like how do you say it, like a lot of like myths and stuff about like credit, but if you go to Credit Karma, which is free, and this is not really a plug for Credit Karma, but I use it and it's really cool because you can see like exactly like what the lenders are seeing. It's not like a mystery to it, and they also give you some like hacks or some like coaching to increase your score. Just like I don't know if Kristen or Kendra, if you can comment on this, but just like you can open up another card and kind of like divide your debt, which is like really, it's kind of stupid, right? But it's a game, right? So if you have one card with a lot of debt on it, you can open up another card and then transfer that debt to that card, which will then improve your score because your
It changes your utilization.
yeah, the utilization of that card then gets like divided or whichever way you want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Because if you have like $5,000 card and you're reaching your max, then if you can get down below, I mean, ultimately you want to be like 30% and below for your utilization. And I mean, 10% and below is like ideal. But yeah, so you can go ahead and take that. That's another thing that I do sometimes is like, I'll go ahead and request or just accept. Do you get the credit increase things all the time?
Yeah, and the way my wife and I spend, sometimes they just give it to us. They're like,
Yeah.
here you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll get one. They're like, oh, look at this. We increased your credit limit. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't ask, but thanks very much, because that automatically, you don't pay off any debt, but your utilization automatically goes down because now your limit is higher. So you did absolutely nothing in terms of money and paying off debt or anything like that. But yep, and then my credit score automatically goes up from that. Which, if you are not responsible with your credit cards, that could be bad, because then you have more room. So you're like, oh, look at that, I could spend more money. But if
Yeah.
you already, know where you're at, don't plan on spending more money, then that can help.
Essentially, just use your credit card like a debit card, but like make sure you have the money to pay it off, right? Like that's why I say use it like a debit card, because you are
Yeah.
using.
I like rewards cards for that reason too. As I'm like, I have this big purchase that I need to make that I was going to make anyway. So let's do it on my credit card. And then like you can take those points and pay off like your part of your balance the next month. And then whatever's left, you can pay off with your good old cash, So
Yeah.
you're not carrying anything over. No interest is being charged, but you're still getting those rewards. So
I love the rewards, especially the travel cards. That's our next credit card we're wanting to open as a travel card. So
I like my Amazon rewards a little bit too much. Oops, daisy.
it happens.
The Costco card, that gets us. Like my family, like we're all about Costco, and which is really cool is we get two separate reward checks, and just like Kendra was saying, we use our card, or at least that one, we use it as like the debit card. So we're typically paying it off 100% like mid-month, but it works out to we're getting like 2 free Costco shopping trips from the rewards. So that's one of theirs, and then we also get cash back. And this cash back has gotten now into like the thousands of dollars that we get for just like putting it on the card and paying it off.
So pretty much Alex is there every day is what he's saying. Yes.
Especially with these gas prices.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
About that. Didn't even think about that. That's a good point though. I kind of just let my my points sit there. So I have like so much money that I should be using that I just kind of let accumulate. So
well, it's nice when Christmas rolls around though. So
yes,
I've done that in past years. Is use all of my Amazon points, and then I'm like, look at this, my nephew will have a Christmas. Thank you. Notice I didn't say my child.
Yeah.
No, like it's all for me. It's all for me. Your child's gift is your happiness. Exactly. If you're happy, they're gonna be happy.
That is your gift, isn't it? Like,
right.
But have you guys ever like played around with like Credit Karma? Because I go in there all the time, and I like just to know like what I could do.
The like what if thing?
Yeah, the what if, like, and I think that's like so cool because like we talk about the debt to available like credit numbers and stuff like this. It's kind of cool to see, like, just like you were saying, Kristen, it's like, what is it at 50%? And I can scroll it down to like 30, and then what it would be if it was like 0. And I'm sometimes like I'm amazed because sometimes it's just like a point or two difference, right?
That's why we need to have like a credit specialist on here, because there are those different categories, like with credit itself, do you have good credit or do you have excellent credit? In Kendra's situation, she was only a few points off from being eligible, so it's like, okay, well, if I'm at 550, is that much different from 580? Like, Right. So how do I get there the fastest way? And you might not know how. Everybody thinks, it has to be paying down your debt, which obviously is advisable, but that might not be the quickest way to
Yeah.
jump your credit up.
And
So like you
sometimes it
said,
could
the
hurt you, right?
credit-
If you do it, if you're in a situation where like, I want to improve this within a few months, it might even hurt it because once you pay off that collection, then it's like, it becomes, I believe sometimes it goes back on being like that day that you actually like paid it. So it like long term, it's going to help your score, but then that short like month or two, it actually hurts it because it's saying, oh, here's like a bad debt, even though it's like paid off. It is a bad debt, and they have to bring in like current for you to pay it. So I've seen, again, I'm not a CPA or anything like that, but I've seen like people on YouTube talk about that all the time, where some people say it's not even worth paying off some collections and like in some situation because it's like that company already wrote it off. Everyone's already happy. It's you, like the sucker who wants to do the quote unquote right thing and pay it, but then actually it could hurt some people as well.
I see
Yeah.
people, younger people, well, mostly, but people my own age as well, who don't understand either. And they think that if you have everything paid off, that your credit's going to be phenomenal and you can do whatever you want. And like, oh, I only have like one credit card or something. And I'm like, but that's not really how it works though.
Mhm.
And like, you don't want to close your accounts. You don't want to
Yeah.
get rid of your credit cards, things like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, there's a lot of common misconceptions.
I mean, your credit score is just how well can you handle your debt? You know what I
Correct.
mean? So that's like, it's better to have more, you know what I mean? I
You
think
need
that's
to
the
have
hard
debt to
part.
handle it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they do. They take like if you can see that on Credit Karma, it's kind of like creepy. It shows like your whole like credit history. Like I'll show like just like little like marks of every single payment that you've made on your credit card, and then if you like missed one or something here or there, it'd be like a little like red check, and that's
I
part of
never
it too.
have. I wouldn't know, Alex.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
No, that definitely is creepy. But a good point that you brought up, Alex, is well, we've all been kind of bringing it up, but definitely getting in touch with a credit specialist, because those debts that you're wanting to pay off, there's special ways to actually make sure that they're getting off of your report. Just because you're paying off a debt doesn't mean that it's going to automatically remove itself from your report. There's times I know folks that have paid off like debts that have gone to collections, and it'll stay on there. It'll just show paid in full. So it's still hurting their score, but it's just showing that it's paid in full. But at the end of the day, your score is still negative, and anybody looking at that is going to take that into consideration.
We definitely need to get someone on in the next coming weeks to explain all of that.
For sure.
And I would say like too, to be honest, it's like, I don't know, like there's pivotal moments in your life where your credit score becomes very like it could really change the direction of your entire life. I believe like buying a home is one of those. I mean, you can have like the terrible scores you want. You can probably get finance for a car. Car's not really gonna, change anything for you, but to purchase a home and actually start building equity, especially like Kendra doing that at like such a young age, that's like so awesome. I wish I had the foresight to do that instead of, paying rent up until like last year, just to think all the equity that I've lost, or, like the money I've given up to, these big apartment complex companies.
And with rates increasing and everything on mortgages right now, and it's like extra important because of course the better your credit score is, the better your rate's going to be. You can always refinance that later on, but you're still stuck with it for a period of time. So if you can like within a certain amount of time get in the best place you could possibly be before purchasing, then you keep more of that money.
Absolutely. Or you could eventually have to pay it in the long run towards points to lower your score. So you don't want to do that. Do it the right way.
Mm-hmm. True.
And with that, I have to click my heels 2 times and see you gals next week.
Oh, okay.
It's one. You're late to your meeting.
Alex has a meeting.
Bye. Sorry.
We covered a lot.
We did.
You did. I liked it.
Oh,
Like and subscribe.
Woo!